Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up, a string of auto thefts in Lincoln resulted in several crashes, including one into a building.
They support us week in and week out, so for us to take a day out of our schedule and come give back, that's nothing. That's expected.
The Huskers visited hospitals today as part of a yearly tradition, but first, one person is dead after a fatal motorcycle crash in Lincoln. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jatine Tinsley. Rod and Megan have the night off. The crash happened a little after 1 o'clock this afternoon on the Rosa Parks Way Bridge between 7th and K Street. Police say a 53-year-old driver lost control of his motorcycle and crashed into the wall of the bridge. The driver then fell over the side of the bridge and was pronounced dead at the scene.
The driver of the motorcycle became dislodged from the motorcycle and separated from the motorcycle and ended up on the ground below the Rosa Parks overpass.
Of Rosa Parks Way eastbound from South Folsom to 9th Street was closed, but has since been reopened. Officials have not yet released the name of the motorcyclist, but they did say he was wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. We'll be sure to keep you updated online and on air with any new details. Around noon, LPD responded to a car crash near Cornhusker Highway and North 40th Street. Two vehicles collided in the intersection. Police say the people involved were taken to the hospital, but they believe their injuries were not life-threatening. However, traffic was minimally impacted. Police say a person in custody for DUI and leaving the scene of a crash. A person is in custody for DUI and leaving the scene of a crash. The accident report is not finished, so details are limited at this time. However, police tell us it happened at Antelope Valley Parkway and Vine Street last night. LPD say the suspect struck another car and drove away from the scene. He was later taken into custody at 20th Street and Holdridge Street. No word yet on if there were any injuries. Lincoln police are investigating a series of car thefts that resulted in several crashes. In total, 4 vehicles were stolen and only one has not been recovered so far. One car was left at the scene of a crash at the Fa Factory near 27th and Vine. Here's a look at the aftermath. LPD says 2 people in face masks got into a parked running car before realizing 3 kids and a grandmother were inside the vehicle. The grandmother yelled at them, which spooked them, causing them to crash into the building, resulting in $8,000 in damage. The 2 men then fled on foot. No suspects have been arrested in any of the thefts currently being investigated. LPD says to call Crime Stoppers if you have any information. We'll have more details on our website, klkntv.com. Organized crime reaches Lincoln with a MacBook theft at Best Buy on O Street, and auto thefts spike as winter weather approaches. Lincoln police have all the details on this week's Crime Stoppers.
This video we have here is a great example of organized crime. It happened right here in Lincoln at the Best Buy on 70th and O Street. What you'll see in the video is a man climb up an employee ladder. He scoots 2 MacBooks valued at $4,600 through a crack, hands one down to an adult female. She puts the computer in her dress, which by the video, if you take a look, it probably has some pockets or something sewn in there. He then hands another laptop to what we believe is maybe a teenage child, and that teenage child takes the laptop over to the adult female, and she places that one in her dress as well. Very smooth, very seamless. You can't even tell the computers are in her dress. It's probably not their first time doing it. What we see in the ID lab as we process these cases is that these people travel from coast to coast, hitting multiple stores along the way. So they're probably not from around here. However, they were in town and likely in nearby towns. So if anybody has any information on this group, we'd love to get any tips that we can. With the decrease in temperature in the upcoming months, we're already starting to see an increase in auto thefts. This first video is from the Lobos City Mex grocery store near 27th and O Street. You'll see a white truck in the parking lot. a black truck that was already stolen pulls up to the white truck, lets out a passenger, and then that passenger takes off in the white truck. So 2 stolen trucks there. We have another case where a white Pontiac G6 was stolen from the area of 27th and O Street. That stolen vehicle was captured on camera at Casey's near 70th and Havelock, dropping off a passenger to steal a Chevy Malibu in the parking lot. So in total, we've got 2 cases, 4 stolen cars. So now we have 4 cases of stolen autos. The majority of them usually that we're seeing are left unattended, left running, left unlocked. So this is just a friendly winter reminder to not let yourself become a victim to this. It happens very quickly, and it can happen to anybody. If anybody has any information on these cases, they can call the police department directly. It's 441-6000. They can call Crime Stoppers at 475-3600, or they can go online to LincolnCrimeStoppers.com. There's all kinds of clickable links online where they can leave an anonymous tip.
The Huskers visited hospitals across Lincoln Wednesday morning to visit with patients. Channel 8's Matthew Mitleiter was there for their annual event.
Husker football players visited several hospitals, including Bryan Health and CHI St. Elizabeth, where I met up with them. They greeted patients, took photos, and even signed autographs, all part of the team's annual Thanksgiving week tradition.
It's kind of been a Husker tradition to kind of visit the hospitals, and some of these guys are our biggest fans, so it's kind of our responsibility to give back to the community, and we're looking forward to it.
For years, the Husker team has shared its thanks with the community by meeting with patients and families during the holiday. Senior and wide receiver Omar Manning says he feels good about seeing everyone there.
Just to be able to see all these faces and come in here and get them inspiration, because they don't even know how much inspiration they give us, every week going into game day. So being able to come in here and see their faces, put smiles on their faces, and we give back to them at the same time. They give back to us too. So.
Quarterback Casey Thompson says seeing the people in the hospital made him feel grateful for what he has and appreciative of the fans' loyalty.
A lot of the fans and that patients, they were talking about how proud they were of us and just to keep fighting and pushing. And, we're fighting and pushing to win another game and finish out this season. And a lot of people here in this hospital are fighting for their lives, and they just still continue to show love and support. So I really appreciate the Husker community and the fan base.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Players also met with nurses and doctors at the hospital and even visited the lab downstairs to meet some of the workers and learn what they do.
It was kind of cool though to see all of them come in at work. It was a nice little surprise. It's definitely a good rep for them, and it's nice for all the kids and all the adults who are having a hard time.
Yeah.
Just to see.
It's a good distraction, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
The team all agreed that interim head coach Mickey Joseph has helped to instill a sense of community and giving back this year.
This morning we had a team meeting right before we came, and Mickey said this is something that we want to do to make an impact on the community. As long as Mickey is a part of the program and we have these great people in the athletic department, I know they'll continue to push us to do stuff in the community.
The team says visiting everyone in the hospital really helped to get them excited for their last game, and they're looking forward to going out with a bang. The Huskers are playing against Iowa this Saturday in Iowa City.
Thanks, Matthew. The nonprofit organization Cedars hosted a Thanksgiving meal for homeless youth in the city. Teenagers who are experiencing homelessness or just need a safe place to go can visit the Cedars Youth Opportunity Center on N Street near 16th. Today, some of the Cedars staff prepared a Thanksgiving meal for these teens who may not get a traditional Thanksgiving dinner.
Today, one of the greatest joys is being able to spend times like this on the beautiful holiday of Thanksgiving with the kids and the staff. Kids who have maybe not known much of a childhood, and staff who give so much throughout the year, and it's just a great blessing and joy for me to be part of this today.
Jim said because of the nature of teenagers, the event will run through the afternoon so kids can walk in whenever they want and not have to really worry about a deadline. Let's go to meteorologist Jessica Blum with a look at your first forecast.
Yeah, good evening, Jatine, and happy Thanksgiving Eve to all of you back at home. Sun setting just right around 5:03 tonight is the official time, and as we can see outside, looking very beautiful as the sun starts to set, and we're starting to cool down quite a bit as some more clouds are starting to usher into the area. But winds were out of the south anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're starting to calm down, and with that, some of those temperatures again starting to cool across the area as well. The airport reading 51 degrees, but still 56 along Denton Road, 55 in Yankee Hill Road, and 57 along Southeast Community College. College. And across the area, 45 in York, 44 in Aurora, as well as 49 in Hebron and 53 in Beatrice. But as we go through the next several hours, we're starting to cool down into the lower 50s by 6 o'clock, and then some more of those clouds are going to usher into the area as some of those winds start to calm down overnight, but they're going to pick up and they're going to shift behind a cold front going into the day tomorrow, which could issue some small chances for some drizzle tonight that we'll talk about, along with some cooler temperatures and some wind chills going into the day for Thanksgiving. So not too much to impact any travel going into the day tomorrow, but colder temperatures for sure on their way for about a day, just for the holiday tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Jessica. State assessment scores show Nebraska students continue to struggle with the result of the pandemic. The Nebraska Department of Education says students' performance dipped during the pandemic. The recent study shows 47% of students are considered proficient in English. That's a 5% drop from the 2018-2019 school year. For math scores, they show a 6% decrease. The Nebraska Department of Education says students had less of a learning loss than those in other states.
We saw that Nebraska actually ended up that no state scored higher on 4th grade math than Nebraska did. We saw that 8th grade math was only one state scored higher.
The Nebraska Department of Education says there are key investments the state needs to make in order to properly address the challenges revealed in the results. Part of those investments include retaining teachers. Coming up, 7 people were killed at a Walmart in Virginia just days after the mass shooting in Colorado Springs. The details after the break. Now to the latest on another mass shooting in America, this time at a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. Police say the gunman was an employee of the store, allegedly shooting and killing his co-workers. ABC's Eyewitness is in Chesapeake, Virginia with the latest information.
Walmart employee Kevin Harper says it's impossible to prepare for something like this.
It don't feel fair. I mean, it don't even feel right. Nobody deserved this.
Responded to District 402, 1521 Sam Circle at the Walmart for a gunshot wound.
Today, police confirming the shooter's identity as 31-year-old Andre Bing from Chesapeake. They say he was armed with one handgun and several rounds of ammunition. Just after 10 o'clock Tuesday night, the first 911 calls came from inside this Chesapeake, Virginia Walmart. By 11:20 p.m., police declared the scene safe with no risk to the general public. But inside, carnage and chaos.
6 victims have died. 4 victims are in area hospitals, and the suspect is dead from what we believe was a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Police confirming the shooting started inside the break room of the store, and the shooter was an employee. Of the 7 people who were killed, 3, including the shooter, were found dead in the break room. 1 victim was found dead towards the front of the store, and 3 other people were transported to hospitals but later died.
These are people in our community whose lives were cut short the day before Thanksgiving. It's heartbreaking.
Harper says he was in that break room just moments before the shooting started. He says he walked out not long before the gunshots began, hid in a clothes rack, eventually escaping through another exit.
It felt like forever getting out that store.
The store was open to customers when it started. Breonna Tyler was also in that break room.
He just opened fire on everybody in the break room, and it is by the grace of God that a bullet missed me.
Now, the store will remain closed for the next few days until law enforcement is finished processing the scene. Eyewitness, ABC News, Chesapeake, Virginia.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with meteorologist Jessica Blum.
Yeah, we're going to start off this evening taking one last look at the sunset as it's just starting to go down below the horizon tonight. Sunset time's going to get earlier and earlier, and just another thing to be thankful for at this time of the year, the beautiful Nebraska sunsets. But Honda of Lincoln Cam, everyone's starting to head on home past the time to get home, and satellite and radar showing some more of those clouds sneaking into southeastern Nebraska. We're expecting more cloud cover to fill in over the evening hours tonight and eventually keep us a little bit warmer compared to yesterday. But looking across the region, we can see there is a development and a disturbance starting to form right around southeastern portions of Wyoming and Colorado, and eventually that colder air just sitting back there is eventually going to move its way into our area, not going to issue in any 30-degree temperatures, but it's going to feel like 30s going into tomorrow. But right now, temperatures sitting right around 51 degrees in Lincoln, and just on the other side of those cold fronts starting to form, 47 degrees, 40 in Grand Junction, and across the state. We've been mostly mild for today, and it's going to change going into tomorrow. But looking across the state, 58 degrees in McCook still, 52 in North Platte, as well as 50 in Ogallala. But you can see some of the colder air starting to sit along the panhandle of Nebraska, 48 in Chadron and 45 in Scottsbluff. So those are temperatures right now. As we go forward the next several hours, again, going to see more cloud cover across southeastern Nebraska, and that cold front going to slide through the area into the very early portions of Thursday, just after midnight. Could see some chance for some patchy drizzle going into tomorrow morning, especially in the extreme southeastern portions of the state, and likely not going to amount to much. It's quickly going to move out of the area, and what we're left behind the cold front is mostly cloudy skies going into tomorrow morning, and really starting the day, we're going to start off cloudy and a little bit warmer because of those clouds. But again, going into the evening hours of Thursday and right around lunchtime, going to start clearing out. We'll clear out in the afternoon and evening, and then it'll be mostly clear by the afternoon and evening hours of the holiday. But again, going forward into time, we're going to see that just portions of the state are going to remain cool and dry going into the weekend as well. But temperatures tonight right around 29 degrees. There is a chance for that drizzle right along with the passing of the cold front, but again, not going to amount to much, and it's really some really isolated patches at that, going to see possible rain chances tonight. But winds out of the south anywhere from 2 to 5 miles per hour. And looking at the spread of temperatures across the day tomorrow, will start out cloudy and in the lower 30s, and then start to warm up just to about the mid 40s by the afternoon. And there's going to be a breeze behind that cold front out of the north, and it's going to be anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour. So temperatures, even though they're in the upper 40s and mid 40s, are going to feel like they're in the 30s. So looking at wind chills over the next several hours of tomorrow. Going to feel like the 30s for most of the day, and it's going to be a little bit chillier, especially compared to the temperatures we've been experiencing the past couple days. But winds across the area going to be anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour, maybe even gusting up to 30 miles per hour throughout the afternoon, and high temperatures in the mid 40s across the area. And of course, Husker game day just on the other side of the holiday on Friday. We're going to be heading to Iowa City, so the forecast for that kickoff right around 3 o'clock. Temperature is going to be right around 45 degrees, mostly sunny, and a pretty pleasant evening for some football as temperatures start to drop off after sunset on that day. But here in Lincoln, we'll be right around 52 degrees on Friday, and then a small chance for some rain returns to the forecast Saturday into Sunday, with temperatures staying above average for this time of the year going into next week. But then another active period Tuesday into Wednesday. We're looking and tracking a storm that could bring some mixed precipitation chances Tuesday night into Wednesday, maybe even the chance for some more snow on the back end of that system before the start of December, and then temperatures starting to cool off at the end of next weekend. But again, we do have some milder temperatures for now. We'll stay above normal going into the weekend, which is great. We'll be dry even if you have to travel tomorrow and you didn't travel today. Looks like a pretty good weather for that as well.
I was hoping you'd say those 50s would stick around all through next week's end, but it doesn't look like it.
It's not. For now. Enjoy it for now, Jatine.
All right. Thank you, Jessica. Another positive day on Wall Street. The Dow gaining about 96 points. NASDAQ is up 110. S&P adding 23 points. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source. Welcome back. One university is using technology and recycled materials to address the affordable housing crisis. And a group of birds takes off on the wrong runway. Steve Nannis has more in today's Take a Look at This.
This home has it all. A rocking chair front porch, large windows, and a beautiful modern kitchen. And it's also the world's first bio-based 3D printed house. The 600 square foot structure made from recycled materials is years in the making. The University of Maine partnered with local and national agencies to find solutions for a major problem.
There's an incredible housing crisis, not only in Maine, but throughout the U.S. They cost too much, and we don't have people to build them. So the other way to get there is to automate the process. That's what we're trying to do. And instead of using very expensive materials, we're using wood residuals from the forest.
Stocking up for Thanksgiving feast this week, shoppers at a Safeway in Kent, Washington got a double surprise Tuesday night. Several Seattle Seahawks rookies were waiting at the checkout lines to greet them and thank their devoted fans.
I'm with the Seattle Seahawks, and on behalf of them, we wanted to pay for your groceries for the holidays.
The players paid for each shopper's groceries for an hour and even signed autographs on receipts. Finally, get a load of this. You often hear about the dangers birds pose to aircraft on runways, but have you ever actually seen it? This military C-37 twin-engine aircraft was carrying a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff when it struck a group of birds. Luckily, the plane was able to return safely to Midway Airport and no injuries were reported. For Take a Look at This, I'm Steve Nannis.
Now let's get a final check of the weather with meteorologist Jessica Blum. Jessica.
Yeah, as Thanksgiving rolls around, we will have a day into the 40s, and it feels like the 30s tomorrow is a very breezy conditions tomorrow, anywhere from 15 to 20 miles per hour throughout the day. And then the 50s return by the end of the weekend, heading into the weekend. 52 on Friday, 54 on Saturday, with a small chance to see some rain Saturday evening into Sunday. And then temperatures remaining above average through Tuesday before another active pattern Tuesday into Wednesday, where we could see a late mix Tuesday and snow showers on Wednesday. We're keeping an eye on the track of that storm because the position of that could determine what precipitation type we see out of that. But then December rolls around and we'll be quite cooler at the end of the 10-day forecast.
Couple 50s in there, I can live with that. Thank you, Jessica. Thanks for joining us. World News Tonight is next. We'll see you back here at 6.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
Extreme sports. And now, Amigos Extreme Burritos with extreme sauce and 3 cheeses with steak, chicken, or beef. And crispy French fries at Amigos.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing Analytics.
Why wait till Black Friday for big savings? At Ernie's and Teresco, it's the big November sale. Save up to $800 on Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets, plus queen pillow top mattresses starting at $279. Enjoy 36 months special financing during the big November sale at Ernie's and Teresco and Ernie's Mattress First Lincoln.
Next ET, only ETs with Michael B. Jordan, why his Thanksgiving may be less than marvelous. Plus, behind the scenes of this year's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Next ET.
Weekdays at 6:30 after Channel 8 News at 6.
As the sun's coming up, we're here to help you greet the day.
Getting answers to the important questions.
What's new overnight?
What's happening right now?
And what to plan for in the day ahead.
Wake up with Channel 8 Morning News.
If you are driven by luxury or driven by fun, Duteau Chevrolet is driven by you. Right now, during the Chevy Cyber Cash Savings Event, existing lessees can drive a new Equinox for only $379 per month, or get the new Silverado half-ton crew cab for just $519 per month. Visit our friendly sales staff to reserve your next new Chevy today. Become part of the Duteau family today. Online anytime at DuteauChevrolet.com.
The Internet of Things is evolving, creating the Internet of You. And Spectrum, America's leading internet provider, is bringing you seamless connectivity across all your devices. Introducing Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet with speeds of 300 megabits, advanced Wi-Fi, and Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, all for just $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999. Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest speeds in the nation for smoother surfing, streaming, gaming, and more. Advanced Wi-Fi provides enhanced security and privacy that automatically blocks threats to protect all of your devices. And Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data with reliable nationwide 5G coast to coast. Switch now. Call 833-673-4999. At Spectrum, it's not just about connecting things, it's about connecting you. Get it all with Spectrum One, Spectrum Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and one line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited for $49.99 a month. Call 833-673-4999 or visit a Spectrum store today.
The Black Friday blowout has begun at Cush's 7-Day Furniture. We're opening at 9 a.m. on Friday to get the deals rolling early. Friday, get a free memory foam pillow with any purchase, plus 36 months interest-free financing and amazing deals will be going on all day long. Lance 5-piece pub sets, $197. Twin mattresses, $87. Cherry chests, $67. And Knifo desks, only $47. Plus so much more. Only at Cush's 7-Day Furniture and Mattress Store, where the best Black Friday deals live.
Evergreen by FNBO from the Great Big Small Bank.
Tonight, on the eve of Thanksgiving, authorities are on the scene of yet another deadly mass shooting in America. The terror inside a Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. A store manager accused of killing at least 6 people, then taking his own life. A survivor describes in chilling detail how the suspect walked into the break room, opening fire without saying a word, shooting at everything that moved, a bullet whizzing right by her. But we're now learning about the killer and his victims. Jay O'Brien is in Virginia. And the first court appearance for the suspect accused of shooting and killing 5 people at an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs. The suspect slumped in a chair with injuries to the face and head. And what we're now learning about a disturbing Facebook post from the suspect's mother just hours before the shooting. Matt Gutman in Colorado. The Thanksgiving travel rush as we come on the air. 55 million people on the move this holiday. Travel numbers close to pre-pandemic levels. Gio Benitez on America's crowded airports. Rob Marciano is tracking 2 systems over the Thanksgiving weekend. The Department of Justice is now asking to question former Vice President Mike Pence about the January 6th attack on the Capitol, how Mike Pence is responding. The war in Ukraine, Russia unleashing a new barrage of missile strikes, an explosion destroying a maternity ward, killing a child who was just 2 days old. Millions are now without power in major cities, including the capital of Kyiv. News tonight about the brutal killings of 4 students from the University of Idaho. Authorities getting emotional before the cameras just a short time ago. The new protest at the World Cup, the team that sent a poignant message without uttering a single word. And America Strong, the 2 families giving thanks for 2 life-saving gifts this Thanksgiving.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this busy Wednesday night. I'm Lindsay Davis in for David. It has happened again. This time, the terror rang out inside a Walmart store in Chesapeake, Virginia. An all too familiar scene playing out across this country. Another community now reeling on the eve of Thanksgiving. Authorities say a gunman armed with a handgun walked into the store and opened fire, killing 6 people before killing himself. 1 victim was found at the front of the store. At least 2 victims found dead in the break room. The gunman is said to be a store manager. Police arrived just 2 minutes after the first 911 call and entered the store 2 minutes later. Walmart has identified Andre Bing as the suspected shooter. We're now hearing from a survivor who'd only worked at the store for 2 months and claims that she was told he had problems with coworkers. The shooting at Walmart comes on the heels of the mass nightclub shooting in Colorado Springs, where 5 people were killed, and the deadly shooting at the University of Virginia, where 3 members of the football team lost their lives 10 days ago. There have been more than 600 mass shootings in the U.S. this year, averaging more than 1 mass shooting a day. ABC's Jay O'Brien leads us off tonight from Chesapeake.
Tonight, the chilling survivor's account of the moment a Walmart store manager opened fire, killing 6 people just 2 days before Thanksgiving. Brianna Tyler, who works at the store, tells me the gunman, identified as 31-year-old Andre Bing, fired into a break room during a staff meeting at the start of the overnight shift.
Did he say anything?
No, he said nothing at all.
Just started shooting?
He just started shooting. He did not say a word. He didn't look at anyone specific. He didn't point. He literally just put the gun up and just started shooting aimlessly at anything and everything that was moving in the room.
A bullet whizzing by her.
It just missed you?
Yeah, it had just missed me. Yes, it did. Mm-hmm.
Couple inches in the other direction?
Yeah, couple of inches.
Brianna, only on the job at Walmart 2 months, thought it all might be a drill.
I froze. I just stood there, not realizing what was going on. I'm looking at everybody drop down on the floor.
But then she realized what was happening.
The moment I looked over at my friend, and she was slumped over, her eyes were closed, and there was blood just gushing out of her neck. That's when it kicked in for me, and I was like, oh, this is real. I was like, I have to run. And that's literally all I thought of. And he went in one direction and I just went in the other. And I was just praying the entire time I was running was, I hope he's not behind me.
Brianna says the gunman then moved into the store, still shooting.
Responded to District 402, 1521 Sam Circle at the Walmart for a gunshot wound.
Police say when they arrived minutes later, the gunman had already taken his own life. Tonight, the city releasing the names and faces of 5 of his victims: Lorenzo Gamble, Brian Pendleton, Kelly Pyle, Randall Blevins, and Tanika Johnson. A 6th victim has not yet been publicly identified because he was only 16 years old. In the hospital tonight, 7 people now recovering, one of them 24-year-old Jalen Jones, another Walmart employee, his mother describing his escape.
He thought he was going to die. It was a moment where he just had, you have blackouts and you feel like you're just leaving, but he just kept going.
Authorities say the gunman was armed with a handgun and several magazines of ammunition. In a statement, Walmart said Bing had worked for the company since 2010.
This is a horrendous event. It's a horrendous, senseless act of violence.
And tonight, these somber words from President Biden after a week that's seen 3 horrific mass shootings in America. There are now even more tables across the country that will have empty seats this Thanksgiving. There are now more families who know the worst kind of loss and pain imaginable.
Just unbearable pain. Jay O'Brien joins us now from Chesapeake, Virginia. Jay, any word about a possible motive?
Well, Lindsay, that's the question hanging over investigators here tonight. What could have led to this? We've heard from those witnesses, and they say that the manager here, Andre Bing, was one of those bosses that you avoided talking to if you could, that would be engaged in trivial matters, that essentially would be one of those bosses that you tried to avoid engaging with, that would clash with coworkers. But we've heard from those who said they never expected him to do something like this. Lindsay?
Right, the unexpected there for sure. Jay, thank you. The U.S. is currently grappling with multiple gun tragedies happening so close together. There are new details tonight in the LGBTQ nightclub shooting in Colorado Springs. The suspect made their first court appearance today, expected to face murder and hate crime charges for allegedly killing